Hey guys, happy Thursday. I am just waiting on one of our clients, Alyssa, to hop on here, and then we will get started once she's on here. All right, here she comes. Hey there.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. How's your day?
Good. I'm gonna apologize in advance because I have three dogs and they're
No,
kind of
you're good.
crazy. So,
No worries at all. I really appreciate you coming on here after your workout and your long day at work.
yeah, no problem. It sounded fun.
Oh, good. Well, I'm really excited to get to know more about you and have you share your journey over the past few weeks with everybody. I guess if you could just go ahead and introduce yourself, and then maybe explain what you do for work, just so people have a little background on you.
So my name is Alyssa. I am a nurse. I currently live in Western Massachusetts. These dogs. I'm gonna move rooms while I talk. I live in Western Mass. I grew up in Ohio and I worked as an ICU nurse in Ohio. I started travel nursing and after a while landed here in Western Massachusetts working night shift. I started doing CrossFit around that time. I was always, into sports and everything. Um, so I started doing CrossFit when I moved here. And it was just really hard with night shift to also try to not so much diet, but just live the healthy lifestyle that I wanted to live.
For sure.
So eventually I landed a school nurse job. And so that's what I do full time now, though I still pick up at the hospital on day shift. Try not to flip back and forth. But yeah, so as soon as I kind of started getting stagnant in CrossFit, even with a regular routine, I decided that nutrition was, the next big step to take to try to move myself further along within my life and within the sport of CrossFit. So
So how would you say that your health was affecting you before you started? I know you said you felt like you got stagnant with where you were at.
yeah, I used to just work out and eat whatever I wanted. And when I started CrossFit, and got in this relationship that I'm now engaged to this gentleman, but as soon as we started living together, I started automatically eating healthier. And so between that and eating at least a little bit healthier, I, could feel my body change. I didn't so much change weight, but my composition changed. And I guess I just kind of thought that would keep happening, even with, sometimes, splurging a little bit more. But as I, maxed out my weight and that kind of stuff, and I worked through like a neck thing that I had going on from having a desk job that I wasn't used to, and kind of moving through that. I noticed that I wasn't able to lift anymore. I wasn't really seeing any changes at the gym where normally you can see those changes kind of steadily. So I decided that nutrition was the next step to take. I also happen to be getting married, hopefully in January, if everything works out. And I love my dress and it fits like a glove, but if it went down a size or two, I wouldn't be upset about it. But I just want to feel better. Like sometimes burpees especially always make me just feel like I have so much weight to lug around. Everybody else can fly and I'm like, I get through them, but it takes me a while. So I'm looking forward to that being a little bit better too.
Yes, you've made such crazy progress over these last few weeks. I think I shared your check-in pictures just over this past week, and you have just made crazy changes.
It's hard to believe because I really didn't think it was that big of a change, but it is when you look at it side by side. And that's something really cool that the app that you guys use, it kind of sets it up so you can actually just like swipe and look right over at the other
Right.
one right next to it. It's really
It's
cool.
so motivating to have that there too, to be able to just pop right on there and see it. I find it so
Yeah.
helpful. What would
Measurements too, and to watch the, all the trends and everything between weight, and we bought a fancy scale that tells you all sorts of things, and it's
Yes.
really cool to watch it all go the right direction.
It's pretty incredible to just see the changes that our bodies can make.
Mm-hmm.
And then to just feel so much better.
Yeah, and when I track things, it makes me just be more cognizant of what I'm eating. Like, I won't really grab the little snacks that I used to just reach for automatically, because I know that I'm not going to be able to eat as many carbs later on in the day with dinner and things like that, which I never would have really even thought about. So even
Right.
just tiny changes make big differences.
For sure. Over these past few weeks, what would you say have been like the biggest changes that you've noticed, like physically and mentally?
I can already feel like I don't really like hate any part of my body, but I can already feel like my belly starting to flatten a little bit. I've been trying to up my crop top game, and I feel like I've
Yes.
become a lot more comfortable in them recently, which is really exciting. I always see girls wearing it. I'm like, oh, why can't I do that? So now I just do it, and I like it.
Good.
Um,
Rock those
I
crop
also,
tops.
yeah, I would also say that I just feel like more energized. Like, I always get up early in the morning, and I usually am dragging my feet a bit. But nowadays, even as long as I am getting the appropriate amount of sleep, I just feel energized. Even at work, going to the gym, like usually I would get to the gym and be like, oh, I can't today. But even now, with the routine and just having those foods that fuel, and not just reaching for the thing that's gonna just satiate me for a minute, but satiate me for 2 hours, is really, really helpful.
For sure. So, what would you say has been like the most helpful part of being a part of the community? Like, what's your favorite part of it?
So everybody has really bomb recipes, and I've made a lot of them,
This is
which is
true.
awesome. Yeah, everybody is really encouraging. So, like, sharing, when you shared those before and afters, like, everybody was like so encouraging about our
Mhm.
journey and everything, and it's so nice to be a part of a group and have a support system built in. Not that I don't have one in my house,
Right.
but these people are like my cheerleaders when it just comes to that. You use your support system in your life for a lot of other things, but this is very, specific to working out and nutrition. And it's just nice to have people who will lift you up, especially if you're having an off day or you
For
just need that
sure.
extra push to keep going.
And I think one thing I've noticed with the group, I feel like it feels like a very safe place. Like, it's okay to have days that feel hard, and we're just like all on this same journey together, and we're all here for each other, and it's okay to have days that are hard, and like you can even go and share those hard days in our group, and I feel like everybody's just like, no, just so encouraging.
And it's so nice too. Like, usually when you're doing this sort of thing by yourself, you have one bad day and it kind of snowballs into a bad week. And then we'll snowball, it could go on and on. And then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, what is happening right now? But with this group, when you're having a bad day, they're just like, okay, so tomorrow is a new day. Just start
Mm-hmm.
again. Like, just do it again. Like, I had my bachelorette party this weekend, and I drank more than I usually do. I didn't eat as well as I have been. And I came back on Monday and I just hit the reset button and
Got
just,
straight
I
back into
enjoyed
it.
my weekend, and I came home, and here I am doing it like I was before. So,
For sure. And you realize like you got to have fun on your trip, and it didn't put all your hard work to waste. Like, you were able to enjoy that,
exactly.
have fun, that fun time, and then come back and just get right back into it without like all that guilt. And we're just able to enjoy those times.
Yes, for sure.
Uh, well, I'm so glad you got to have fun.
Me
And I'm
too.
glad you got to
It
have
was
your
great.
trip. It worked out.
And we hiked, so we exercised, and we tried not to drink anything too heavy, but you know, a good IPA is always on the list of
Oh,
things to do.
yes. Weeks like that are such a good just reset and get you ready to get right back into it. I think it's really good to have times like that where you just step away and are able to relax and enjoy yourself.
And I was on, when I got there, I was like, oh, I'm going to keep tracking my food and all this stuff. And on Saturday, I noticed that I wasn't that into it. I just wasn't feeling it that much. So I just didn't do that for the rest of the time. And I came back on, Monday, Tuesday, and got right back into the routine. So it works.
For
Those couple
sure.
of days don't destroy everything that you've worked so hard for. You just hit reset and keep going.
Absolutely. For sure. So one other question I have for you. What made you decide to take the plunge and join the AV Fit team?
So, you weren't a part of the AB Fit team
I was
yet, but I
not.
love the addition for sure. Alex and I just got along really well. She met with me personally on Zoom more than once to see if we would be a good fit for each other. And then she also met with me and my fiance. So it was important that besides the financial investment, also the support was kind of built in to see what the home environment was
For
like, to see if
sure.
it would be sustainable and helpful. So that was really cool. So we met as kind of like a team, the three of us, and then once that kind of worked out, I was like, yeah, and I jumped right in. And I know I'm not, close to you guys in Columbus or anything, but I still feel like I'm a part of the team with our Zoom calls and being on the group chat and all of that, which is really great. So,
Yes, oh, I love that. And I love that we get to have our weekly calls and have you in the messenger and then on Facebook. I feel like we just all feel so close. And I don't even realize like who's out of state and who's not because I feel like I get to see you guys all.
yeah, it helps that like everything's kind of virtual right now, too, anyways. So, we're just, making the most of what's going on in the world. So,
For sure. For sure. Well, I appreciate you coming on here so much, and I love getting to hear a little bit more about your background story. And I'm so excited to watch you over these next few weeks. I mean, you've just been killing it, and I love seeing your motivation. Like, you guys pump me up and get me excited to go in the gym. And when I see your check ins, uh,
yeah, it's so awesome. And this was so fun. I loved it. Thank you for inviting me on.
of course. Well, have a good rest of your night.
You too. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Bye, Alyssa.
Bye.